Hello and welcome to another Smite tier list. This one will be on ADC Ultimates and how powerful I think they are, obviously. Again, my opinion, although most of them I think you'll agree with, though there will probably be a couple that are like, meh. So we've got 5 simple tiers. This one's just so that, I don't have to go through all of these. I will at the end just make sure I didn't miss an ADC or something, but pretty self-explanatory. Best, good, okay, bad, shite, in other words. But let me start with Stinger is... I'll just say Stinger's alright. It could probably go up to strong. You obviously have to hit. It is kind of like an extended auto attack. Stinger's an element I don't really notice very much. A, I don't play against AMC enough. B, he never stingers me because I'm always a solo laner and he's usually stingering someone that's more important. And he's just kind of like... I know that it cripples you. I know it does a lot of damage, and I know he can pick it up afterwards. So this one's one that can definitely change depending on my experience with it a bit more, I'd say. It's probably like my least known ultimate of them all. Strong. Anhurl is, I would say like it's a low strong because see, it's a long CC immune ultimate, but the issue is the cooldown got increased, and that's kind of made it a bit hard to use. Not hard to use, but hard to know when to use it, maybe. It's always going to be a strong ultimate, it's a lot of damage, and it's a long CC, but it's just like that little, I think it was 15 seconds they added. It was 75 to 90 seconds, I'm pretty sure. It made him quite hard to play. Well, not hard to play, but harder to play. Apollo... Right now, in this meta, next meta when Transcendence becomes meta, strong, or top tier. But right now, I'm going to put it in like weak or alright, because you just don't have the mana to use his ultimate currently. Like, he's coming into the fight with no mana, and then he just gets killed because he can't use any abilities. So we're going to go with like weak. It's the global ultimate I'm putting in weak. That shows you what a state it is in right at this very second. But Transcendence is getting a buff next patch, and you're gonna be building completely differently. He might get a load more mana, and then he can use his ult, and it'll be strong. Simple. It's just how it is currently. Artemis ult is always a strong one, maybe even top tier. CC, I'd say it's a CC immune ult that also provides CC. It's a strong ultimate. I'd say it's like the best part of her kit, in my opinion. Well, her Sim's really good as well, but her ult is really strong. It's always a annoying one to play against because it just bounces off people. It does a decent amount of damage, provides a nice CC and a CC immunity, Combos well with her trap as well, so I'd say it's a top tier ultimate. Chronos ultimate is just weak to alright. I'm going to go with weak, honestly. His ult's kind of like, I don't really like it. Obviously, what it does is it's called polymorph, and it transforms you into an animal, usually a goat, and does damage in a circle. Thing is the circle is really slow, so if you're on the edge, it's really easy to get out. And also, being turned into a goat isn't actually that bad. You're slowed, and you're silenced as well, but like... It doesn't feel like you're really like vulnerable. I mean, you are very vulnerable, but it doesn't feel like that because I don't know if this is the Kyron I play against, but I never seem to die when I'm turned into a sheep. It just feels like it's fine. I feel like the ultimate just doesn't have enough damage on it, and the CC is not for long enough to provide. Because Kyron will use it a lot as a defensive ultimate. You want to use it as a defensive ultimate rather than a securing ultimate, because it's his only real form of self peel. He has a dash that's easily interrupted. And then he has a root, but like that's awkward to hit. So it's his main form of, hey, the jungle's on me, now he's not, kind of thing. I just think it's a weak ultimate. The one that I don't think is weak is Kyron. That is not Chronos, that's kind of bog. Obviously it's the global ultimate like Apollo's, but I would say it's better because it didn't use all his mana. And it's global ultimate, so it's going against strong. Honestly, like Apollo's ult, if it wasn't global, would be honestly detrimental with how much mana it uses. So like Carnival ult is it's good ult for re-engaging on fights, for just getting around the map, engaging in team fights, you know, securing not securing objectives, but getting to objectives to fight over them and that all that kind of thing. It's just a good ultimate, very much one that I'm thinking, okay, we've got a good ultimate here if they use it. Kyron ultimate, is that another strong or is that just alright? I'd say it's strong. No, I wouldn't actually. He can't. No, it's a bump sticker. It's an ultimate that does provide a lot of damage, but it's very easy to track down the Kyron when he's in his ult and kill him. And if no one dies, obviously his ult resets his health if he kills someone. Not resets it, but like he heals for amount of damage he did. But the projectiles are quite slow, and honestly, it's better to use it not to try and survive, well, not to try and live through something. It's better to just use it to engage and get a lot of damage on, especially through walls. Because you then it provides your mark so that you can then use your 2 and slow everyone, and then you can use your 1 and really hard. So it's a nice way of starting a combo. And it is just a fine ultimate. It definitely could go down into white, but I'm going to say strong. Now, Chronos ult, honestly detrimental 90% of the time you're dying in your ult. If you get it off, it's an amazing ult, but but getting it off is hard, because you have to use it about 14 seconds before you think you need it, because it takes so long. But then at the same time, can be very good. I mean, all ultimates can be good. Let's be honest. Like, it's an ultimate for a reason, you know. Even if it's a weak ultimate, it's still stronger than pretty much any other ability. But saying that, in Chronos' kit, I'd say like his 3 is better than his ult. Would I? No, I'd say his 2 is better than his ult because it's got a lot of versatility, and his ult is very inconsistent, whereas your 2 is very consistent in the stuff it gives you. Well, you can't say it's consistent when it gives you 4 different. Maybe I'll just shut up. Okay, top tier ultimate, Cupid ult. You need to have beads for Cupid ult if you're boxing him in lane. Obviously, you need to have beads for it because he'll just kill you if you don't. You know, you get crippled, or is it silent? No, it's crippled, isn't it? It's crippled, and then you get stunned when it pops. Does a lot of damage, covers a large area. Obviously, then he can set up his heart bomb on you. I was trying to think what other abilities he had and if he could use anything else, but no, he can't really. So his ult is really strong. Definitely need to beads it, and when you don't have beads, you're kind of screwed. Okay, so Danza. I'm gonna go with because there's 2 sides to Danza ult. There's laning phase and teamfight phase. Laning phase, it's top tier, you know, really strong ult, really allows you to engage onto whoever with your ult and just kill them. However, in the teamfight phase, your ult is just kind of a bit more redundant. You can't necessarily just go in your rocket and go on someone because you're just going to get turned on by the enemy team. But you can still get a lot of damage out of it. It's really inconsistent in the jungle. That's one of the big things about it. Like, you'll hit walls all the time if you're not in the rocket. So People like Panda Cat make it look like an amazing ultimate, but I think for your average Joe, it's just an alright ultimate. Not a bad ultimate, not a good ultimate. Well, it is a good ultimate. It's just kind of, it's just in the middle. Freya ultimate, honestly, detrimental. Well, mage ultimates suck, don't they? Might as well put Soul and Other in here. Just kidding. Freya. Oh, I mean, I could get Mr. Blitz to rant to you about this for about 14 hours. He hates Freya. Thing is with Freya, it's a good ultimate if you get into the air. However, it has a habit of cancelling itself and just dying in the animation you're going into the air. It's a bit like Chronos, it's just very inconsistent. But when you're in the air, it's great. You do a lot of damage, you can get away, you're alright. But because it's the only real form of like escape because of CC immunity, it's kind of, yeah, it's a detrimental ult. When I made this tier, this is the ult I was thinking about. Hachiman ult. I don't know how Hachiman ult works. I'm not going to lie to you. I know you get on a horse and you fire at people with your bow. You slow them. So I know you're CC immune. You can go really far with it. He does quite a lot of damage, and I'm gonna go with actually quite. It kind of reminds me of Anhur in a way, but I think it's a little worse than Anhur. Yeah, I'd go with it's a little worse than Anhur. Maybe I've it in alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in alright. I think it's definitely not bad, but I wouldn't say it's the most OP ultimate in the game. Now, my favourite ultimate to use is Heimdall. However, if we're actually talking about Heimdall, it's probably like or it's just an eye. Because, yeah, it kind of, you have to get in someone's face to use it. If they've bead, you're stuck in the animation for a long time. If you miss it, you're stuck being unable to auto for a long time. Obviously, if you hit it, it's great, but if you miss it, it's pain. If they beat it, it's pain. And it's a good getaway. Don't get me wrong, good getaway, good CC immunity, all that stuff. But then you just kind of like, after you use it, you're either in their team, or you're very vulnerable because now you've used your only escape, well, other than the Bifrost, on an enemy that potentially got in your way because it's quite obvious if you're going to dash away with it, and then they just get in your way and then you're screwed. Provides decent damage. Like, I love it. It's my favourite ultimate. Maybe in the game, but it's not the best, that's for sure. Who you ultimate? Strong. Strong, is it strong? It covers a large area. It doesn't provide that much damage though, does it? I don't know. But then marked with the mark. Matched with the mark. That's not what I wanted to say. Paired with the mark, it's really quite good. I just really struggle against Hu Yi in lane, so I'm gonna go with strong. It's not really a... Yeah, I'd say he's strong. Is Nami out? Yeah, definitely not top tier. Weak? It's just such a small circle. I don't really feel like Izanami is very strong. It doesn't provide you with too much damage, or it gives you a silence for a short amount of time, but it's not an ultimate. I'm thinking, oh crap, they've got Izanami ult. I need to look out for that. It's like, they've got Izanami ult. I'll just walk slightly to the left and I'll dodge it because it's the size of a pea. And if you hit it, it's okay damage at a silence, so you're probably getting a kill off it, but it's so inconsistent to hit that I'm putting it in weak. Jingwei ult is just alright. You just use it to get away, to be honest. It's just the safe ultimate, innit? That's all it really is. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. just the definition of alright. Medusa, pretty good damage. Even if you don't hit the stun, it's actually pretty good damage. It's consistent damage as well. It's nice slow. Actually, I'm gonna put in strong, not because of the stun, because of the slow and just the damage in general. Like Medusa armor is hard to play against. Ability armor. It's not gonna be like the strongest armor in the game, but it's gonna actually provide you with quite a bit. And it does actually make a CC immune as well, which is another thing to mention. So yeah, I'll put that there. Neath armor could be a top tier, or it could be an alright. Really depends on if you're playing with the team or not. I'm just saying in ranked, I'm gonna put in alright. But in like a team environment, it's probably a top tier armor because you can just have that. You have that global armor to hit wherever, but it's easy body blocked. It's kill steal simulator. I think it can provide quite a lot for your team, but at the same time, I've not seen it do enough to be put above alright. Okay, so Olorin's ult is actually just top tier. It's like the ult is top tier. None of the rest of Olorin's top tier, but that ult is so strong. Especially on like objectives and team fights. He just slows everyone, either forces beads or forces their ult or something. You're forcing a lot of stuff out with Olorin ult, and I'd say that's just top tier in of itself. If they're stuck in it, they're probably just dead. So yeah, top tier armor. Rommel, honestly, pretty weak. It's if you hit your shots, it's probably strong, but if you're not consistently hitting your shots on it, it's pretty weak. You can hit the first one, that's nice and easy. That's such low damage that it's not that bad, and then the other two a bit inconsistent on if people hit them. So I'm just gonna put him weak. The definition of alright as well is Scadio. Actually, maybe strong. No, it's just alright. Provides a root, full heals, colder. I think it does a lot of damage. I quite like Scotty's ult. Yeah, I like Scotty's ult. I think it has a case for strong, but one that also has a case for top tier is solo. Yeah, I'm putting it in top tier because A, it gives you CC immunity. B, it provides a fuck ton of damage. C, it knocks them up. It's Cherubitus ain't on here. Okay, well I'll talk about Cherubitus at the end. I just remembered. So yeah, this is just a really strong ultimate. It's a little inconsistent to hit at times, but I think just the amount it does makes up for that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, one thing to mention for Ramo is when you're coming down, you're just a very, very easy target as well. Ooh, well, you don't really have an ultimate, do you? I guess it'd be the stance change, and that's just pretty weak. It's not the stance change, but the stats it gives you, which is attack speed and life steal. So it's 25% of each. It's not bad, but it's not like anything to write home about. It's nothing compared to the rest of these ultimates. And last but not least, Shiblanki also going to go in weak. Back in the day, this would have been top tier, but it's just weak these days. It just makes you blind. That's what it does anymore. Oh yeah, and it also increases the range of his autos. But it used to be so much stronger, and I just think it's just weak now. It doesn't do enough for me. They need to add something back to it. Well, they don't, but they could, and it would be okay. And Cherubitus, or Charybdis, as it should be said. I just say it wrong for some reason, I don't know why. So long CC immune ultimate that provides a lot of damage and a stun. Probably going to go in strong, actually. I was thinking like weak, but then I'm like, well, no, it's a really long CC immune ultimate. Provides a lot of damage and it provides a stun, so I'm probably in strong top tier. It's a good ultimate. Just provides a lot of setup from your team to actually be like really good. So maybe strong. just strong would be good. That is the list for me, and let's have a look. Any honorable mentions? Well, I mean, there's like Poseidon would be alright. Kraken's not as good as it once was. People need to hit them. Vulcan's ult is alright. Provides a lot of damage. Pretty easy to dodge. Anyone else that gets played in ADC semi-regularly ever? I mean, a Wheelix, it's good ultimate. There you go, Mr. Blitz, there's your shout out again. That's all I'm going to do. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope you have a good day, and please like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Peace.